viewers, a very warm welcome to the SocialWorkIn lecture on the principles of community organization. I hope you found our last session on the principles of social work insightful. Today, we'll build on that foundation to explore how these principles come alive in community practice. Communities are the heart of society. They are where people come together, share their dreams, and work toward a common future. But organizing a community to achieve its goals is no small task. It requires vision, collaboration, and a deep understanding of the principles that guide effective community work. Today, we'll explore the 8 principles of community organization, a framework that empowers communities and their leaders to create meaningful, sustainable change. Let's begin with the first principle, the principle of specific objectives. Every community is made up of diverse groups, each with unique needs and aspirations. This principle reminds us to set clear, specific objectives that address these differences while aligning with the broader goals of the community. For example, in a culturally diverse community, creating a separate forum for women might address specific challenges they face, while also contributing to the overall development of the community. The key takeaway? Tailor your objectives to meet both individual and collective needs. Next, we have the principle of planning. Success in community work doesn't happen by chance. It requires a well-thought-out blueprint. This means identifying programs, allocating resources, and anticipating challenges. Imagine a community worker who plans to encourage girls to attend a coeducational school but overlooks cultural norms. Without proper planning, the initiative may fail, leaving the community dissatisfied. The lesson here? A solid plan is your roadmap to success. Now, let's talk about the principle of people's participation. A community's strength lies in its people. For any project to succeed, it must actively involve the community members. This means identifying their felt needs, assessing feasibility, and creating opportunities for participation. In India, for instance, some ambitious community development plans have failed simply because they didn't engage the people they were meant to serve. The takeaway? True progress happens when the community owns the process. Fourth is the principle of intergroup approach. Communities are often made up of smaller groups with distinct identities. This principle encourages us to work with these groups individually before bringing them together for larger initiatives. For example, in a diverse community, start by engaging religious or occupational groups separately, then build bridges for collective action. The key? Strengthen the parts to empower the whole. We have the principle of democratic functioning. A thriving community is one where everyone has a voice. This principle emphasizes the importance of inclusive decision-making and preventing the domination of a privileged few. For instance, implementing a rotating leadership system ensures that power is shared and diverse perspectives are heard. The takeaway? Democracy isn't just a system. It's a practice that strengthens communities. Sixth is the principle of flexible organization. Communities are dynamic, and so should be their organizations. Start with informal arrangements and gradually introduce structure as needed. For example, forming various committees for different aspects of a project allows more people to take on leadership roles. The lesson? Flexibility fosters inclusivity and adaptability. Seventh, we come to the principle of optimum utilization of indigenous resources. In resource-constrained environments, local resources are your greatest asset. This principle encourages us to creatively leverage what's available within the community. For instance, in a developing country, improving local sanitation might involve using available materials and labor, supplemented by external support when necessary. The takeaway? Start local. Finally, think global. We have the principle of cultural orientation. Every community has its own cultural fabric, traditions, customs, and values. This principle reminds us to respect and understand these cultural nuances while gently advocating for positive change. For example, in a community where early marriage is a tradition, respectful awareness programs can promote education and delayed marriage. The key? Balance cultural sensitivity with the courage to challenge harmful practices. These 8 principles, specific objectives, planning, people's participation, intergroup approach, democratic functioning, flexible organization, utilization of indigenous resources, and cultural orientation are the pillars of effective community organization. They guide us in navigating the complexities of community dynamics, fostering collaboration, and creating sustainable change. Remember, a strong community isn't built overnight. It's the result of patience, respect, and a shared vision for a better future. So, as you embark on your journey of community work, let these principles be your compass. Together, we can build communities that are resilient, inclusive, and full of hope. Because when we empower communities, we change the world one step at a time. Thank you.